All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about Starfield and 30 frames per second on a next-gen $500 12 teraflop most powerful console in the world. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's get into this just for a second. Now, I'm not excited about having to play that at 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series X. I mean, I'm not. Like, I don't think anybody is. I don't think anybody expected that. I think that everybody expects, because Bethesda is now part of Microsoft and a first-party studio, that they expect 60 frames per second, or at least a performance mode in those types of, in anything coming from Xbox. As you know, we got Redfall at 30 frames per second earlier, and that didn't go over very well in either. Now, you have to understand that there's going to be a lot of disingenuous people that are nitpicking Starfield because of the 30 frames per second. Dreamcast guys over on Twitter just consistently freaking out about it because I don't know why. I don't know why he's freaking out about it. Oh, I know, because he needs that money. He needs that freaking e-beggar money. So, I mean, I get it. I get it. Negativity sells, and that's basically what YouTube is. That's pretty much what YouTube pushes, because, hey, man, people click on it. People want to be angry. People want to be upset about every little thing. Well, this is my honest feeling about Starfield. I'm going to play it on my PC so that I can have 60 frames per second. That's just the way it goes. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the PC is an extension of the Xbox brand, the Xbox console, and I'll be able to play it there. I'll be able to play it on my Xbox as well, but according to Todd Howard, 30 frames per second is the design choice that they made. It's plain and simple. That's what they wanted to do with it. That's what they did. I mean, is that fair to the customers of the Xbox? I don't know. I'm not here to try to tell you what to like and what not to like. But a game like Starfield, being as massive and as vast as that game is, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, me personally, I'd be perfectly fine with a 1080p 60 frames per second mode for that game, because I'd play it on my 1440p monitor. Most of you guys probably have your 4K TVs, and you'll want to experience that in 4K. And to tell you the truth, man, 1080p on a 4K screen really doesn't look that great. Like, I mean, there's really not much you can do about it. So, I mean, you have to decide. I mean, if this game was small, like Spider-Man or one of Sony's games, then yeah, I'd be like 100%, yeah, we need 60 frames per second. But it's not. I mean, not even Spider-Man 2 in the quality mode is running at 4K 60. It was 1800p at 60 frames per second. 1800p at 60 frames per second. I put up a video just now or a few minutes ago about, Starfield and Spider-Man running side by side. I didn't say anything in the video. I just let the thing play out so that you guys could kind of see and gauge what those two games look like. One of them is 4K. The other one's 1800p. I think personally they both look good, and they're both running at 30 frames per second in those respective things. So imagine what Spider-Man's going to look like at lower resolution if 1800p is what you get for that. If they even do, like, who knows if it's going to have a 60 FPS mode? Nobody knows. They didn't say anything about it, so we'll see when it gets here. If they were able to double the size of the world and turn up the speed as fast as they said they can, and still hit 60 frames per second with ray tracing and all of that other stuff in there. I mean, I mean, like, it's Insomniac. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to do that, but I have my doubts about that as well. I mean, whatever, next gen games, there is a real possibility that next gen games will run at 30 frames per second with higher resolution and higher quality visuals. And that's something that you guys are going to have to, like, we're going to have to deal with that. We're going to have to get to a point where like the cross gen has ended, and now we're going to start playing the next gen games. And there's a good chance that a lot of these games are going to come out at 30 frames per second. Me personally, man, like, I don't know if I would want to take a visual hit on Starfield to get higher frame rate though. Like if they were going to cut back, I mean, like it's a Bethesda game. Let's be 100% real. This is a Bethesda game. It's made on the Creation Engine. At higher resolutions, you get better looking textures, better looking fidelity, all of that stuff. If you start taking that away, I think that I think that will seriously compromise the overall visuals of Starfield, and it won't give you that look of being beautiful. Now, the one thing for me that does kind of save Starfield on console is the fact that you can play in first or third person. I don't think I would be able to play that game in first person, but I definitely could probably play that at 30 frames per second in third person view. And that's just me. Like everybody's going to have different tolerances. Everybody's going to be different. Now I get it, man. We were told at the beginning of this generation that we were going to get 4K, 60, 120 frames, 8K. Like I get that, man. Like it stings every single time we get 1080p 60 or we get 4K 30. Like it stings every single time. Like I get that, man. And having this channel has given me a reason to get a PC. So now I get to experience those games at higher resolution and higher frame rates. So, I mean, like when A Plague Tale Requiem came out, I tried playing it on the console for a minute and I was like, no, dude, I'm not feeling this. No. So then I put it on the PC and wow, it looked even better, but I still couldn't play that game. Like I still have not been able to finish that game to date. I bought it on PC. I've been playing it there, and well, the biggest reason I haven't finished it yet, honestly, is because I played through a lot of it on the Xbox and the PC, like well, on the PC Game Pass version. I played through a bunch of that, and my save when I bought it on Steam, it didn't carry over. Like I got it on Steam for a good deal. That's when I bought it, and like my save didn't carry over, and I don't really feel like starting it over, so I might just re-download it on Game Pass and just finish it that way. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is Starfield is a huge game. And I'm saying this to my Xbox community, to my Xbox friends, because I know the ponies don't care. They're gonna bash this game for 30 frames a second, no matter what. Like there's no getting around that. Like I said earlier, we're gonna have to build a shield wall, and we're gonna have to stand behind that and hold it up, if that's your thing. Now, you're gonna get to play this game on Game Pass for $15. For $10, for whatever like you end up getting into Game Pass for. Like you get to experience Starfield without having to pay $70 for this game. Like you get to experience this on Game Pass. So I think that before anybody jumps to any like super rash decisions on this, play the game. See if it works for you. See if you can handle the 30 frames per second. See if the game actually feels good. And you can experience that and not have a lot of problems with it. Because if it's a smooth 30 frames per second all the way through, you might still be able to enjoy that game. The systems, you might be able to enjoy the combat. You might be able to really immerse yourself in that experience and have a good time. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that like you should be like, yeah, 100% against 30 frames per second. I'm saying if it's on Game Pass, you should give it a try. You should try it. You don't need to feed into the negativity. You don't need to feel bad about your purchase of Xbox. I mean, seriously, man, they're both $500 consoles, and by the end of this generation, I'm pretty sure games are going to be 30 frames a second again anyways. And unless these developers really pull back, like unless they massively pull back on new features and new visuals and all of this stuff and just give us last gen visuals and last gen games and like build us last gen games, we're possibly going to be back to 30 frames per second before you know it. It just depends, man. Like, what do you want more? Do you want like the visuals, or do you want the frame rate? Like, what do you want? Now, I get that I'm not trying to make excuses for Bethesda. I'm not like Todd Howard, Bethesda making Starfield. If they want it 30 frames per second, that's fine. I think that most Bethesda fans are probably going to be okay with that. I think this game is still going to sell really well, and it's going to do great. But at the end of the day, man, like, I don't know, man. Like, Bethesda's not really known for pumping out 60 frames per second games unless it's their first-person shooter. So, I don't know, man. Like I don't necessarily feel bad that it's 30 frames per second because of the vastness of this game and how big it is. But then again, I also have a PC to play it on. So I'm not trying to sit here and tell anybody that they shouldn't that they should just overlook this and be fine with that. I'm not saying that at all. Like if you want to be mad that it's 30 frames per second, be mad. Like seriously, be mad. It that's up to you, man. If you want to experience the game and enjoy it and hopefully be able to enjoy it, I want that for you more than I want you to sit and be mad about it. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to go to bed. I got to go to work tomorrow. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Hold that line and build that shield wall, bro. The Peggies are coming.